And we're live, Tuesday Night Live, Eastern Outdoors. It's been quiet. It's been quiet the last few days.
It has, because we've been busy.
We've been not much to talk about. Not many comments on our stuff. I don't know what's going on. Let's welcome Michael. Michael to the stage wearing his Raw Frozen Sis.
Like that shirt.
Go on, fellas.
I thought you were going to wear a Whack 'em and Stack 'em shirt tonight.
Yeah, I didn't have time to make it. Too many practices.
Uh-oh. I'm wearing a QAD shirt. You know, I've gotten to the point where I don't wear just about anything unless about everything I wear from hats and shirts has been free.
I thought you were just going to say I don't wear anything. I was like, well,
as soon as this, you don't know. Hey, from chest down, you don't know what's on.
That's true,
right? You've never seen me stand up on a show.
Hey, I'll be honest. I've wore boxers on here before.
That's funny. Brent Lemming is here, even fellas. Brent Lemming just sent me a picture of a what he sent us, Mike? I'm blanking here. Backstrap. He sends a picture of backstrap. Mike ain't even seen it yet. Dwayne Best is here. What's up, guys? Dwayne, I tell you, I just want to say we could not have deer camp without Dwayne.
No.
First one there, one of the last ones to leave, helps set up, helps clean up.
Just a good dude.
Love
just
Dwayne.
A good dude.
Gordy
man.
Mullins is here, says, hey guys, Gordy, I hope next year you can come to deer camp. We had somebody drive 5 hours, Gordy. I think you'd probably be about 6. You might beat them.
Scott Butler
sitting here. Scott Butler is sitting here watching the show, eating fawn steaks. He asked us too soon. No, Scott.
No, it's not.
Scott, I've actually got I would say a yearling leg in my fridge right now that I'm going to make jerky out of. Can't wait. Gary Kite smoked. Gary Kite had the record for longest drive to deer camp, about 5 hours, down around Knoxville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first person to kill a deer at deer camp.
That's right.
And smoked him. And you'll be glad to know, folks, he used a compound bow. He didn't cheat.
Didn't cheat.
He wasn't one of those dirty crossbow users like Mike and Josh here.
Yep.
Yeah, if you use a crossbow, shame on you. Shame. Like, what are you doing?
Caleb Hatmaker is glad to be here. Caleb was tied for the longest drive to deer camp, him and Gary. There's the Bambi killers. Oh, my gosh. Hey, listen, if you're going to make a comment, hold on. If you're going to make a comment like that and you're watching from the Facebook group, you must put your name so I can tell if you're really calling us that or if you're jokingly calling us that.
I want to know.
That's a big difference.
And then it has been a fun couple of days.
Scott says we're dirty, cheating rascals.
Brent Lemming said his first deer he killed was with the crossbow, and it was a yearling.
Well, that doesn't count, Brent. You're not a real hunter. You know, I was told yesterday, and this was, hey, look, it's not a personal attack against me. I just took the photo. This is about Mike and Josh and Gary.
Here, baby.
And I was told yesterday that some Indians hunted and others gathered and carried water.
I didn't see that.
So Mike and Josh, they said Mike and Josh are not real hunters. They're gatherers, and they carry water, and that's okay. So...
I did carry water in my gun belt with my canteen. Does that count?
Yeah,
I washed my hands after
you gutted your yearling. Yeah,
did a little bit of both there.
Hey,
but no pun intended.
I've had a great time, man.
Hold on.
Time.
We I gave Gary and Dwayne and Caleb a shout out. This man right here deserves a big shout out. PK,
huge shout out.
Yeah,
fellas, listen, if you're watching this, you have no idea. First of all, we had like 18 people in total. I counted it. Close to 20 people show up. We had some back out last minute. It happens. We had close to 20 people show up from deer camp. From the very moment that PK and his brother-in-law Frankie got to deer camp, they were cooking. They had a deer leg smoking. They had chicken on the grill. They were making rice. We ate deer. We ate chicken from PK. We ate rice. We ate all kinds of stuff. WO, who I hope comes on here, he showed up with his friend Keith Bailey. They made over 200 fish fillets and tater tots and all kinds of stuff. Brought a banana pudding. listen, we may Eastern Outdoors may have hosted the deer camp, but these guys, look, they're the what brings it together.
Hey, listen, I'll say this. So a couple years ago, PK made a dish that we've seen. It's the only dish that we have seen that me and John both were like, I don't know if I would eat that. And it was like a deer liver or something like that dish.
No. He made the one you're talking about, which I'm trying to forget, is the one he made with raw fish. We ain't talking. It was minnows. But he had raw deer meat.
So yeah, so what he ended up doing at camp was he had cooked all this food, man, and we were feasting, dude, eating so good. All of a sudden,
it was like a wild game buffet.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
And Dwayne just randomly goes, "I brought a backstrap," and PK literally goes, he's like, "Where's it at?" And Dwayne goes and grabs it. He starts cutting it up, doing all this marinating and stuff. And, I'm thinking he's like cutting it up into thin strips. I think he's going to do something with it. And he just grabs it raw down the hatch. And I'm like, nope, not doing it. and then everybody starts doing it. And they're like, oh, wow. And I'm like, I can't be the only guy not to try it. And it was delicious. It was awesome. So good.
It was just raw deer meat with little sauce and seasoning and right down the hatch. Slippery slope right down there. And, Gary said best deer roast ever. Can I say this? Gary was, I'm not ageist here, but Gary was the oldest guy at camp, right? 50-something. You wouldn't think that looking at him. I mean, he's a beast. However, his words to me a few times, and I saw it on his post yesterday, best deer camp in his life. I mean, this guy Gary was the oldest for 30 years. Best deer camp of his life.
He was the oldest there and was carrying around a huge climbing stand all weekend through the woods.
He wasn't supposed to be doing that. His wife told him not to climb.
Oh, sorry, Gary.
Hey, but he did kill the deer off the ground, though. He made a natural blind, brushed himself in, killed the deer off the ground. But it's Gary and Jackie. Jackie could be watching, too.
Well, sorry, Gary. I think I ousted you, brother.
Scott Butler said, how do you gain weight on a camping trip? Scott, I had lost some weight before I went, and this got me totally off track.
I definitely gained a couple
totally off track.
I did.
Usually Mike is the one that does it to me. Mike likes to bring – what's those cookies you bring, Mike?
There's those Keebler Elf, those Keebler Elf cookies with the chocolate in the middle.
Keebler Elf cookies with chocolate in the middle. That usually destroys me. I turn into Scott Butler when I see those. But he didn't have those this time. But we did have some Dollar General cookies and some banana pudding, and got me off track, fellas.
Was good.
Dwayne said, loved eating raw backstrap. 54 years, and yes, best deer camp ever. Loved it.
PK
said, I lost 10 pounds from a little jiu-jitsu. So PK and I did. PK is a white belt, 3-stripe white belt in jiu-jitsu. And PK and another hunter who I will not name, another camper who I will not name, had a little tussle. PK kind of got the best of him because I think the other guy I love him so much, he's a dear friend of mine, just didn't want to engage, and he just kind of laid there and let PK take what he wanted. Sounds weird, but it is what it is. So PK got him in an arm bar, and which is where you almost break your elbow. And I said, PK, there's no way you could get me an arm bar. And I was mostly kidding, but dead serious. Like, I didn't want to try, but, So PK and I took off our shoes. We went out there, and we rolled and wrestled. He did get me in the arm bar. I did get out of it. I will admit that was Saturday. Today's Tuesday. My elbow is still sore. And I loved it. The last 2 days, my chest, my stomach, my arms, my neck have been very sore. PK's very strong, but the size overwhelmed him, and it
was like watching a grizzly versus an axis deer.
I don't think that's maybe a grizzly versus a black bear.
That's too close.
Okay, grizzly versus an elk. Remember that grizzly that destroyed the elk in the river a few years ago?
It's just a cool. Yeah.
We got to give PK more credit than an axis.
I'm just talking about size. When we're talking about
PK's a brute.
but he's a lot smaller than you.
Well, he is, but Grippo's at least got Mike
I
failed us.
screwed up on that one.
He
Didn't bring
failed
the
us. No
Grippos.
Grippos this
We
time.
usually always bring the big box.
We didn't
I
have
know.
Grippos or L8, and that should be a staple of deer camp.
Yep, it should be.
Josh Wilson said, glad to hear y'all didn't starve from those little bitty deer y'all got. You know what? We had to wipe the milk off of them, Josh. We had to wipe the milk off their lips, and it was fun.
Yep.
Oh, see, Gary's giving me some credit. I made a nice little roll. I turned into the arm bar, got out of it. I did accidentally elbow him in the face and bust his nose. A total accident.
There you go. Dwayne said it. He's like a bobcat. I like that.
A bobcat. It looked like Keith said it looked like a bad WWF match. Oh, Keith was there. So here's the thing. During this fight, Keith and WO were up cooking frying fish, and Tim and Kayla just got there. So these are 4 people that are at camp like, what is going on? And meanwhile, we're also having an archery competition, and we were giving away some Antler Builder and whatnot. So
it was just fun.
We have so much fun.
It was great,
awesome.
Man. I've not had that much fun hunting in a long time. I really haven't. It was
Badger versus Wolverine. I don't know. You have to compare me something bigger than that. Maybe like a elephant versus a lion.
How about like if we go Kentucky terms, a full-grown bobcat versus a medium-sized black bear?
Yeah, that'll work. I can take that. PK said, "Oh, those little bitty deer would feed us for 100%. At least you clean the afterbirth off before taking the picture." I don't know what the big deal is. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the controversy of the weekend that listen, I'm sitting there in the woods, and Caleb texts the group chat and says, Gary has a doe down or something like that. And we're pumped. Like, you can feel it in the group chat. Everyone there's pumped. No one said, well, was she a mature doe? Was she a yearling? No, we were pumped. We were glad. And this is the last morning of camp. We were all packed up, ready to go home when we got back, right? We just had to clean up, get our stuff together. I was so pumped. I texted in the chat, Gary. And while I was texting, a doe walked in and caught me and started blowing at me. And guess what? She was a small doe too. And I was going to blast her. I tried to get a shot on her, but she was gone too fast. I was going to blast her. She probably may have been the smallest one out of the 3. Yep. So we were all excited. Then Josh texted. No, John Allen texted and said, hey, Josh, there's a doe coming your way. They were hunting together. I was pumped. John Allen texted, I heard the shot. You know why he heard it? It was a crossbow that was freaking fast, too. With an Annihilator broadhead that put that.
So
a doe.
So fast, it was my first crossbow kill and saddle kill. And it's so fast that I honestly thought I missed it. I knew I had a good, was on the deer, but when I shot it, went so fast through the deer and it hit the leaves, I thought I hit a twig. I thought I messed up.
So
no, sir.
He was using a crossbow. He blasted that deer. Ended up being a button buck. We don't like killing button bucks. But it happens, right, Mike? You've killed a ton. You and your family killed a ton of button bucks. He's told that story.
That's what I was funny. Excited to tell today was everybody was upset that we had killed fawns and this and that. And I just want to say, hey, guess what, guys? I killed a button buck.
You'd be even angrier if you knew it was a button buck.
Not only did I kill a yearling, I killed a button buck. So, and somebody asked how far he ran. I think he ran, I don't know, 60 yards.
Y'all found him fast.
60 yards. Blood everywhere.
You couldn't even really tell. It was so young that you could barely tell the bumps on its head. And look, I'm not even going to defend it. So anyway, you killed that. And here's the deal. You didn't know it was a button buck.
I didn't.
You didn't even know really it was a yearling.
I didn't. Me and John Allen,
your vantage point, you both thought it was a bigger doe.
Me and John Allen both. We were both in saddles, and when we went to the point of impact, followed the blood trail. Like I said, probably went 60 yards through a thicket, and there was blood everywhere. Blood everywhere. And we both thought it was bigger than what it was. We were surprised when we got there and it was a yearling.
but we're not going to defend. I mean,
Not at all.
I'm sure people are waiting to take screen recordings of this video and post it to their Facebook account.
Do it.
We don't care. Go
No,
ahead.
do it. Please do it.
Actually, just don't do that. Just send them the link to the video so we can get more views, since that's,
Yeah.
people say that's what we're all about. Anyway, so then Mike texts and is like, just made a shot. Now, Mike is ultra conservative, so I'm taking it as, okay, he took a shot, doesn't know if it's hit, so that's why he's not said, I got a deer down. So because Mike is very conservative hunter, he probably the most conservative guy at camp. He's taking shots that are close. He knows they're going to be kill shots. Like I trust him. And then Mike found his. So we were pumped. We had 3 deer. We brought them all back. I actually, in the group chat, said, let's hang them all and start butchering them. And I'll take photos of us hanging them up, butchering them, processing them. I think that's cool. Facebook doesn't have a problem with it. We rearranged those does. When I took that photo, not of those in the button buck, of those deer, when I took that photo, my concern was liberal, big tech, Facebook media. Right? My concern was Mark Zuckerberg shutting down the page because there's blood on the deer. I had no thoughts that hunters were going to have a problem with 3 small deer being killed. My concern was, hey, guys, let's use your crossbows in your compound to cover up the blood, cover up the entry point, because I don't want Facebook to shut it down. I don't want to stir up any crap. Oh, we didn't have to worry about the liberals. We didn't have to worry about big tech. It was these arrogant, self-righteous, know-it-all hunters who thought they could come on our page and impose their preference on us and shame Mike and Josh and Gary for their hunts. And that's the worst. That's the worst of the hunting community, are guys that think they're better than everyone else. You know what? You're ruining hunting. You're not growing the sport. I had a guy message me yesterday. He said his friend killed a small deer, and he posted it on Facebook, his first deer ever. And he got so much grief that he didn't go hunting ever again.
Wow.
The hunting community did that to that guy.
Wow,
Young guy killed his first deer. It was a small one. Everyone gave him a hard time, criticized him. He didn't go back. That was like 2 years ago. He's not been back.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's a shame.
That's sad.
It's absolutely,
it is, man. It is.
It's absolutely a shame. And what we did, here's what I told Josh last night. We were talking about it. I said, if anyone in our camp did something illegal or unethical, I would have a problem with it. I would handle it. I wouldn't let them come back. I would make them go home, even if me and PK had a team up on them, right? But you guys, I thought we had a great camp. We killed 3 small deer. I have part of one in my fridge. Josh ate part of one last night. I saw PK taking home ribs and neck and every inch of that deer that he could. And I'm proud of it, man. I am so proud of the camp we put together.
It was incredible.
It was
absolutely incredible.
I will never, ever change. Eastern Outdoors, we're not going to make things look fake, right? I killed a 5-point buck this year, and I posted it that night because I was proud of it. I don't care. I could have waited for a bigger buck. I didn't. And I'm not going to hide and try to say I did something I didn't do, right? If you want to find fake hunter social media accounts, there's many of them out there. This is not one. This is not one of those. And people that want that can unfollow, or we'll just block them.
Yep. So
Brett Deskin says, are we camping for quota at Cleaver? Mike, are we camping at Cleaver?
I don't know if we can. I don't know if there's
I think we live too close.
Yeah, honestly, I'm in northern Kentucky. It's about an hour drive to Cleaver and Rich. So typically we just kind of commute a little bit every day.
I don't know if I told Brett. Someone else asked me if we were camping at Cleaver. So I live 25 minutes from Cleaver. So I'm going to be camping in my bed. But look, if you're going to Cleaver, Mike and I, or Kleber or Rich for the
Yep.
quota hunt. And Mike, are we drawn for the first or second?
Second, December.
We got the second one. I've hunted that one before, and it's tough. It's really tough. But if you are going there for the quota hunt, I'll be glad to give you pins of mine that I have. I'll be glad to give you, I won't give you the places Mike hunts. Mike and his dad are going to be hunting. But any other place that I have, I'll be glad to share. So if you've never been there, hit me up. I had a guy today, Mike.
Yeah.
We were talking about Clay WMA, and he's got a quota hunt there. And he was asking about one of the places I hunt there, and I gave him some screenshots and stuff. And here's what he told me. He said, hey, you guys do a great job at Eastern Outdoors. He said, I grew up in a holler in Kentucky, very poor. We use deer meat to supplement our nutrition. He just lost 300 pounds of meat from his freezer.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was not just deer. It was fish. It was certain things. And so he's out, and he's trying to do what we did. He's trying to kill does, whack them, and stack them. And he was defending our post on Saturday. So
yeah, I love doe hunting, man. It's I get just as much out of getting a doe as I do a buck, just because I love hunting.
Yeah. So
Me
looks
too,
like we
man.
have several.
I've been sitting here trying to find a specific comment, and I'm like you said, I'm not defending anything because
no, I will not explain.
I'm very, very happy with how camp went. I'm glad that we all three harvested. It was fantastic. But we got 54 people watching right now, from what I can see. I definitely know there's people.
Well, you started talking and it went to 52. So
shut up. I definitely know there's people that disagree with what we did or have commented. I do want to say just a couple things, just a couple. So one, I know a lot of people are joining right now to hear about. I think what's his name? He met us down at NWTF. What was his name? He likes to fish.
WO?
No.
I don't know. Keep going.
Anyways, he joined up and he said, I got my popcorn ready to hear about the feathers y'all ruffled. And that
Eric Hubbard.
It doesn't bother me a bit because I enjoy it. Because guess what? The people that are watching that ruffled feathers this weekend, the negative comments doesn't even come close to outweighing the positive comments. Like it's not even close. So like when we message back or we comment, it just gets us more attention, dude, is all it does. And I don't mind it. And one dude said,
let me interject.
Hold on.
No, I just want to add to your comment.
Okay.
When we say, hey, bring the negative comments, we like for our page to grow. It's not because, listen, I don't make a post and say, oh, this is going to get 100,000 views. When I do that, it always falls flat.
Yes.
Right? I've stopped doing that a long time ago. I just post things that I think the people who follow us, the PKs, the Dwaynes, the Erics, the Steves, the Rickies, these guys, I just post things that I think people will like.
Yeah.
Or that I know that, like a guy, Todd Myers, who lives out at Clay WMA or near there, had a trail cam picture of a buck with a big tumor, it looked like, on his belly. And I posted yesterday. He was wondering what it was. So I was like, hey, I'm going to post it, see what people think. Everyone thought it was a hernia, right? So those are things we post. So we don't do it for likes, but we like the likes.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
Anyways, one dude, I guess, we ruffled his feathers. He went and posted, you all seen it. He went and posted our post somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think it was West Kentucky Deer Hunters or something like that.
We're not even going to give credit to his name.
And, this one guy had posted, he had said something. I had commented back smartly, but it was like as soon as I commented, here came Bub, here came other, like everybody started surrounding him. And immediately his next comment was, I don't care what you kill. And I'm like, I don't say anything else, but I'm like, you're full of you're full of it, dude, because you just said all this negative stuff and now people are coming at you and you want to back up a little bit. So I just want you to know that Eastern Outdoors Media, all of us, the guys at camp, we were extremely happy with what we harvested. I would do it again 100 times over, and you're full of crap.
So here's the deal, Mike. I know you're sitting there listening, and Mike is not going to rant and rave like Josh and me. But I love Mike. I love Gary Kite. He says right here, we welcome in like family. Josh is okay too. Josh is my brother. Of course, I love him. But I don't care. If I post a picture of the 5-point buck that I killed, I knew people would have comments about it. I didn't care. I don't care. Listen, there's a group of guys in Western Kentucky that always have things to say about me. I've lost zero sleep over it. I don't care at all. But when people start talking about the other guys, Mike, Josh, Gary, that's when I get fired up. And so I started commenting back to that guy from South Carolina. And then I just deleted my comments, and I ended up just blocking him from the page because it was just nonsense. Then he went to another group, and he just got bashed. And let me say, it was like 90% positivity and 10% negative.
Oh,
but those 10% are loud, and it needs to be addressed. And so I was so proud that people came, not because it was us, but for hunting itself, came to defend ethical, legal hunting. And here's what I think we need to do. We need to ask, what do we want hunting to be? Do we want hunting to be about size and the weapon you use? Do we want it to be about criticizing new hunters, criticizing people's kills? Is that what we want hunting to be? Do we want it to be that? Or do we want to push our personal preferences on people and put our personal preferences above good management tactics? Because killing does in Western Kentucky is good management practices. Is that what we want to do? Because if you're doing that, you're the problem. And if we reduce hunting to trophy hunting, if we reduce hunting to size comparisons and what weapon is right and what weapon is wrong, if we reduce hunting to that, we don't have to worry about PETA. We don't have to worry about liberal government officials. We will ruin hunting ourselves because no one's going to want to do it. And we're living in an age where everyone wants to post the deer they killed, but not if they're going to get bashed, right? So I just think the people doing that are the problem. The people who are criticizing are the problem. We tell you all the time, we're not the experts. We've never tried to be. I've got pictures right now I can show you. We've killed a lot of small deer. Right?
Hey, one more thing before I end up, Tim. This isn't like going off or anything.
No, you're good.
Here's the way that I kind of look at it, right? I heard somebody say this months ago, and I can't remember who it was. But, there's always going to be people that disagree with you, right? No matter what you do, if you kill a giant buck, you should have let him grow another year. If you kill a small yearling, shame on you. It is what it is. Nobody's ever going to agree. But here's what I don't understand that people do, that it just drives me crazy. They want to bash. They want to think that their way is right, and they go the wrong way about it. For an example, right? I like people that disagree with me, but have good supporting facts that make me think, man, they might be right. That actually have a good argument. That don't just, I'm right. I'm like, yeah, you can say you're right all day, but where's your supporting facts? If you come at me the right way, there's a good chance that I'm going to listen, because I'm a great listener. Most people are. And I'm more than likely I may not agree, but if you have good supporting facts, I'm going to listen way more and be more respectful, and so are you, and have a good conversation about something. People just can't talk these days. They can't. It's impossible.
And Mike, I'm going to get to you. This is the last thing I'm going to say, then Mike's got the floor.
You're good, man.
If you want to kill deer that are 165 inches and above, and that's all you want to hunt, I'm for you, bro. I agree with you. If you want to hunt only during the rut with a rifle over a corn pile, I'm here for it. I'm with you. I'll support you. If you want to use a crossbow and kill any doe that you see, I support you. But if you try to take those preferences and you try to push that on other hunters, that's when you're wrong. I don't care what anyone else does. I don't care if you want only use a trad bow. I don't care if you even think that's a better version of hunting. As long as you don't try to force that and criticize other hunters who aren't doing it your way.
Yep.
That's when you become wrong. That's when the arrogance and the self-righteousness is the only thing that shines through. And I think those guys, and look, there are guys like that are way smarter than me, right? They know more about deer than I do. But when you come from the arrogant, self-righteous, know-it-all standpoint, bro, you have no credibility with me. I don't want you in my friends group. I don't want you following my page, right? Mike,
Yeah.
Kyle Sam's here. Yesterday, someone told me that in Western Kentucky, there are more bucks than does. And I said, oh, hold on. You must not know anything about Western Kentucky. They said, well, actually, I'm from Marshall County. Well, sorry. Kyle Sams, resident deer expert here at Eastern Outdoors, says killing does in any Zone 1 county is great management because it's overrun. Mike, can you educate us? When it comes to deer hunting, you've killed more deer than me and Josh combined. You have more experience. So we'll let you. We've rant and raved. We're pissed off. You're cool, calm, and collected. Can you break that down for us?
So, I mean, the way I look at it is when you're taking does, specifically in Zone 1, where you're allowed an allotted amount, as long as you continue to buy your tags, you're taking the does that are eating amounts of food. And I would love to have Kyle on to have this discussion when he can. I know Kyle's watching now, but does and just deer in general eat a lot of food. And if you've got so many does eating that food, if your whole goal is to kind of get yourself toward having those bigger bucks and growing bigger bucks, you're going to want those bucks to have that feed. And if you've got more does taking on that feed than you do the bucks, there's a balance there that needs controlled. If that's your entire goal is to just grow big bucks, then you have to harvest does. I mean, it's plain and simple. It's absolute science, and I know for a fact that would get backed up. But just from all this stuff, I think it's been interesting. I think it's been a little bit eye-opening for myself. The fact that it's coming from other hunters, and it's weird. We've heard terms called seasoned hunters would look down on the people that would use crossbows and harvest yearlings, and I want to be clear. I've said this before, and there's nothing wrong with it because we know people that harvest does or fawns with spots. We've seen it and know people, and there's nothing wrong with it because it's a legal deer.
Right.
I have said on the show many times, I personally will not shoot a deer that's got visible spots. I just don't.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I've never
eaten deer that have been killed like that before.
Yeah. I've had deer
no
that have been killed. No, absolutely not. I just don't do it myself. There's nothing wrong with it because it's completely legal.
Yeah.
But and like you said, I'm not going to defend anything. I'm not going to explain anything because there's no need. It was we had an absolute blast at camp. The spot that I found on you guys actually kind of pointed me in the direction of where to go in that spot on Sunday morning. And I waited till it got daylight and I kind of moseyed in there through there. It was real quiet going through there, and started finding acorns, and it kind of found a real pretty open woods. And then I ended up walking to an edge where there was a transition. It was kind of thick and then it was open. So I sat right on that edge of that. And I could just, I don't know, when I looked in the spot there, just when I first got there in the morning, I started looking around and I thought, I could see a deer being bedded in over there, and it might walk and mosey into this open area and eat some acorns or something.
Yeah.
So I put up my tree chair down at the base of a tree, and I got all set up. I cleaned the leaves off away from the tree and all that stuff, and I got set up. And there for a while, nothing happened. But right around 9:45, that doe came in, and she came in behind my left shoulder. So, but when I turned my head, I saw her up in there, and I put my crossbow up and got ready and thought, well, I'm going to wait till I get a little bit better shot. And she took a couple more steps, and I thought, well, there it is. And I lifted it up and put it right on her, and it smacked her, and she ran 20 yards and fell over. Didn't have to track or anything. It was a great shot. I hit her directly in the heart. That annihilator went right through it. And, the rest was history. But it was the very first time I've ever gotten a deer with a crossbow. That's my very first crossbow deer. Very first year at Peabody WMA. It's only the second time I've been there. Very so cool. It's pretty cool, man. I had an absolute blast. That was so fun.
Let me.
Another thing that
If it would have been a 12-point buck, would you have been excited?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
If given the choice, you would have killed a 12-point buck. But did you even hesitate?
Not at all.
Take out the doe.
Not at all. Nope. Because I looked.
It was ethical and legal.
Yeah, I looked at it. Fact is, and here's what I did. I looked at it. I knew it was a smaller deer, but I didn't see spots. So I thought, well, I'm deer hunting. That's a deer, and it's in range. So that's, it was a pretty quick decision of, hey, there we go. There's an opportunity. Yeah. There's an opportunity there. And they're definitely not explaining it, definitely not apologizing for it. It's a deer. I was deer hunting, and that's what it's all about.
Jordan Friend says, we get this kind of response every year when we hunt Fort Knox. Our group goes to fill the freezer. Any legal buck, 100-pound doe, or 40-pound fawn gets a free ride back east. Now, you could argue that Fort Knox is the best managed area in Kentucky. I mean, that's an argument you can make, right? Why do you think they allow does, even 40-pound fawns, to be taken? It's a good management practice, right? If it wasn't, they wouldn't allow it. So I'm for you, Jordan. You keep stacking them, bro. We're gonna do the same. If people don't like it, I post that video. Shut up. Just shut up. Keep moving. Keep moving. All right. Joe Carter said you killed yourself some great meat. Sure did.
Yeah.
You didn't go to deer camp not to kill anything if opportunity presents itself. Absolutely. And it was the last morning. We were stoked. W.O. Fish Frying Man says the first, oh my God, I cannot talk right now. The first deer I ever killed with a bow was a yearling. I've never forgot about that hunt. That's probably 45 years ago. I was just as happy and proud of that deer as any bucks I've shot. You know what? Here's one thing I can tell you. I have a lot of friends who are like WO. They've been hunting 45 years, 30, 40, 50 years. I have a couple of guys who are the guys who taught me how to shoot a bow. They're the guys that have given me plenty of hunting advice. They're not even on Facebook, right? I know so many people who are the best hunters I know who probably now at their age only try to kill mature bucks. And none of those guys would even blink an eye at the deer you guys killed.
Yeah.
Because they're real hunters. They're mature, real hunters who are for other hunters, right? Now, Scott Butler said, I don't know if he was talking about Mark or me or us or who. Scott, I have less than 8 friends, actually.
2 of them right here.
Yeah, you got 2 of them. And, yeah. So, anyway, Scott said, I don't know if he was talking about Mark or me, that one of us was the first ones to make fun of his little doe that he killed. Now, I'll be completely honest. When Josh brought that deer back, I made fun of him. I was like, oh, look, you killed a baby. He's my brother. And it was fun. And it was in good humor, right?
It's no difference than you killing a 5-pointer and me making fun of you.
Right. He said, I bet you I kill a bigger 5-pointer. And I say, won't be velvet, right? I mean, we just do that. I will make fun of Scott. I'll make fun of Mike.
I want to say this too about the whole.
Then we hug, we high five, we hug, we congratulate each other. We love it.
I think another valid point when I was thinking about it earlier today, without going too deep into it, what percentage of deer do you think are harvested in Kentucky with a rifle every year? Rough estimate.
I can tell you. Hold on.
Tell me the percentage.
Well, let's guess. Everybody in the comments guess. We need to get the people involved.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. So everybody guess the percentage of deer harvested with a modern rifle during modern rifle season.
Post it in the comments.
Every year. Kyle Sam says 70%.
Well, Kyle's cheating because he knows.
Kyle's probably nailing it.
Josh,
no, you cheated.
80%. Kayla, 30%.
Oh,
Josh
man, they changed the way they used to do it.
73. I'll give you a hint, guys. It's very high.
Hold on. They changed the way it looks. I don't like the new system. Somebody get Brian Clark on the phone. I don't like the new system. I like the old one. Hold on. Let's see here. Well, see, they used to have a complete total, but now they don't. Yeah, I don't like it.
65, 73, 55, 76, 88, 68, 90.
I can say this.
Hold on.
Most people wait until November in the gun hunt, and that's when they hunt.
Yeah.
Most people only kill one buck. If they kill a deer, it's a buck. And they wait till the gun hunt. Hold on, I can tell you.
Well, while you're looking for it,
I got to do a little math.
While he's doing the math for the percentage, this is what I'm getting at. The reason there's multiple reasons, right, of why gun is responsible for a high percentage of our deer harvest every year. However, one, it's easier to kill with a rifle,
right.
And two, it has a scope where you can see the whole body of the deer in the scope.
Increases your distance.
You're not using one little pin to aim, right? Okay. I enjoy using a crossbow because don't get me wrong, I can shoot a compound decently, but I'm much better. You can ask John. When I have a scope, I very rarely, not that I don't, but very rarely miss. I know my chances increase because here's the thing: is if I shot that deer and missed, or gut shot it with a compound and we posted it, that's all you're going to hear about, right? That's all you're going to hear about. It's how bad oh man, you gut shot it. You need to take your time. That's a bad shot. When I have a crossbow, I know my chances are increased of harvesting that deer. I'm more confident. I know I'm more accurate. So I feel more comfortable. There's this 13-pointer on my property. I know I'm much better with a crossbow, and I wouldn't let John take the crossbow home because I want it.
So stop.
I'm sure.
It's not you wouldn't let me. I allowed you to keep it.
Get over yourself.
I allowed you to keep it.
Yeah, just like you allowed me to keep it during the weekend when you wanted it, right?
I did.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't want to hear your crying. I heard enough crying on Facebook this week. I don't want to hear your crying.
Listen, shut up. Go to bed. Anyway.
Okay, hurry because I've got the numbers.
It increases. It 100% increases. And I don't care who you are. More than likely, it's going to increase your chances. Now, I'm not saying don't hunt the compound. I'm going to be hunting with my compound some this year, and I will next year and the years before after that. But my chances increase with the crossbow. I like using a crossbow. It's that simple.
All right. So the number of deer in Kentucky that was killed last year was 144,515 total deer. It's a lot of deer. The number that were killed with a firearm, I lost it. 104,879 for a number 72.5%. Caleb Hatmaker was the first one to get 73. So he was the closest. He even beat Kyle Sams. So 73, roughly 73% of all deer killed in Kentucky are killed with a firearm. Now, here's the thing. I've never killed a deer with a gun. See, a lot of these guys wouldn't even admit that. They might even make it up. I've never killed a deer with a gun. I can't wait. It's not gonna be a buck this year.
Unless it's at Knox.
Unless it's at Fort Knox, but I can't use a rifle at Fort Knox either.
No, you need to come to my place and
anyway,
or muzzleloader.
I'm very excited to finally use a rifle. I bought 6 rifles last year. They're interchangeable, but there's 6. I have 6 different calibers. I can't wait to use one to kill a deer with. It'll be a doe. Might be small, might be big. I don't know. I can't wait. But that's what most people do, and that's okay. And most people, a lot of people hunt them over corn. That's okay. But if you're doing that, if you use a rifle, why would you say anything about a crossbow?
Yeah.
Right? I think people should use a rifle, a muzzleloader, a crossbow, a compound bow. Why not? It's fun. If you have 4 tags, recurve. I ain't using recurve. I've shot those. I
would like to. Really I've got the 4. I would like to do one with the recurve so I can say I've done it.
Yeah. Well, this year I've never killed one with their crossbow. I've only killed them with my compound bow. So if you guys want a champion, if you need a champion of non-crossbow killers, I'm your guy. I've never used one. But this year I'm determined to kill one with a crossbow, a muzzleloader, and a rifle. So there you go. John Ross said a slingshot. I don't know if I can get it done with a slingshot. Maybe I could wrestle one and get it with a knife. I don't know. Is that
Yeah.
is that primitive enough for these guys, Mike? What if I wrestled it to the ground and got it with a knife? Would they be happy with that?
You'd have to juke it, maybe. Just juke it.
Did you see my moves with PK, Mike?
Yeah.
Easy.
Well,
One of Mike's cousins got one with a pistol, didn't they, Mike?
yeah, they've done that multiple times. I think James has gotten a few deer with his 44. And I'm pretty sure John has gotten one with his, and Uncle Don has gotten one with a 44 before, 44
Nice.
Magnum. Yeah.
That's not even on my radar.
Hey,
Yeah.
Steve Skimpy said you have to harvest one roadkill too.
Roadkill, there you go.
One of the things.
Gary Kite said that Catman, who's a popular YouTuber, mostly a public land dude. He's just a regular dude like us, better hunter than us. Just killed one with a pocket crossbow. Now you want to fire some people up. That's just one of those little bitty crossbows. I could see where that could get to the point of ethics because is it lethal enough? But obviously it is. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I was just going to say one of the things that I thought was very interesting, just with some of the stuff that happened, the comments and things, is all of us, and I can pretty much tell you, everybody I know, there is not maybe one guy that I can think of, but he does one thing, but not the other. So a lot of us now use different baits, corn, other feeds, minerals, whatever. We use a lot of stuff.
Blocks.
And we use trail
Liquids.
cameras, whether it be
Trail
cell
cam.
cam or just regular cameras. Most of us are using those nowadays. It's pretty common. I don't run into a lot of people that say, "Oh, I don't use any of that." It's more common to hear people using both or at least doing one or the other.
Yeah.
So I think it's really dangerous to take that stance of, oh, you killed it with a crossbow. It's weird to see grown adults using a crossbow and killing small deer or harvesting small deer. Most of the people saying that are more than likely using bait and more than likely using cameras, which I do as well. So I'm not knocking that, but what my point is,
I know some of them for sure use it.
Yeah, and my point is,
they're not even worth me mentioning their names.
No,
but some of the guys that complain, I know that's how they hunt,
mm-hmm.
and I'm 100% okay with it.
Me too. Yep.
But then don't say this about crossbows or other.
Yeah. I think it's a very dangerous thing to start making it a point to kind of point people out for using crossbows or for using cameras or for using, because it's only a detriment to what we all care about, and that's to be outdoors and hunting and having fun.
If it's legal, do it.
Yeah. So look, Evan has a great comment. He said, "I've shot with a crossbow, didn't find it, lost trail after a few yards, shot the leg off of a doe. Anthony Jones had to finish her off for me because she ran to his stand. That's a different story. And he also killed his first buck with a compound. Fun times." You see this comment right here, the good and the bad, that's what we're about. Because you know what? Things go sideways sometimes.
Mm-hmm. We're human.
When Josh shot his deer, he thought he hit a twig and missed it.
Yep.
Just from the sound of it. Things happen. Yep. And a lot of folks want to cover that up. Or they want to see you with your 12-pointer, 14-pointer. We're just not going to do that.
That's why I love watching the hunt in public, because everything they do is real. They mess up. They do stuff all the time, and you can see how detrimental it is to them when they have a gut shot or something like that. But they don't block it. They don't stop the next 48 hours of tracking to show them harvesting the deer. They show it all, and sometimes they lose them. It happens. So regardless. Here's
a friend of mine. Hurley Combs. He was the guy I was hunting with when I killed the 5-pointer and the doe on the same day, 30 minutes apart. That's a little joke for deer camp there. Hurley has guided two 400-inch bull elks. He has personally killed, I think, the number 3 at one time, the state record velvet buck. His son just killed a 170-inch velvet buck. These are big game killers, Hurley Combs and his family. And I've never heard him criticize anyone for what they've killed. Never. He was so pumped when I killed that 5-pointer. He was more excited than I was.
I guarantee it.
That's cool.
Never, ever thought a thing about it. And I never thought, oh, man, I'm not going to shoot that because Hurley's going to criticize me. So, come on.
Yep.
Gary says, my God. Hurley is my friend and my God, Gary. Let's see. Here's what Hurley said, though. He's been in the elk woods. I don't get to talk to him much when elk season's here because, well, usually I'm the one texting him and he doesn't return my text. It's kind of been the other way around the last couple of weeks. Hurley says, hey, guys, got 2 more elk down this evening. Got one out and cut and pack on the other. One more day. It's been very successful 5 weeks for Lost Mountain Outfitters team. Just waiting on some help to arrive. Ready to get back to deer, killing some deer. Congrats to you guys on a successful deer camp, Hurley. So, Bub, here's a guy that didn't show up to deer camp, but he's been on fire the last 2 days. I have to admit, Bub, I was mad. I was mad when I scheduled deer camp around your schedule and you didn't make it. But I forgive you and I love you. You
know what I was mad about at camp, though? Is that when you went around with the camera, I was the only one to choose myself to kill a deer first. I don't think anyone picked Gary and no one picked Mike. And no one picked me but myself. And Gary freaking beat me to it by about an hour.
I really thought that Dwayne would. I just had a feeling. I just thought Dwayne's going to go back in there. Those deer have been coming out. I really thought he'd put one down first morning. I really did.
Yeah, well, specifically, and he saw some deer back in that same area last year. So when you kind of get a feel for where you're going, and you feel good about it, and you've seen deer there before, you kind of get that feel that Dwayne was gonna pull it off. But hey, I'm just glad some people found some deer, and public land's hard, man. It's hard.
I'm going to say this, then we're going to look at some pictures of deer. 2 things about this weekend. I was so proud of our deer camp. I pulled in. There was already tents set up. There was already tables set up. It was a beautiful weekend. It got freaking cold out there in the cot. It got so cold, man. Sleeping outside. Me, Mike, and Josh were not in the tent. We were in a cot, and we were Mike and I got inside a building the second night, and it was still cold. I was so proud of. So I'm trying to read comments to talk. I was so proud of how deer camp went. I was proud that every single person who showed up last year came back this year. We had new people show up who I guarantee, if their schedule allows, will be back next year. And there's folks that couldn't make it this year that will be there next year. So I'm so proud of that. And then when all the negativity came in yesterday, I didn't care about that. I didn't really worry about you guys, Josh and Mike, because you're used to it. I didn't want Gary to get upset. Right. I didn't want, that's why I texted a group chat and said, look, you're probably going to get some bad comments. Just ignore it. I didn't want anyone else to be like, man, feel bad about themselves, because they shouldn't. But I was so freaking proud of the community that we've been able to build here. The people who follow us, who know we're ethical, who know we're legal, who know we do the right thing. And they stepped up and they came to our defense. We didn't need defended. We did nothing wrong. There's 90% positivity in the comments. But I love seeing the community, the hunting community, rally together against people who are the worst form of hunters. And I would never want those folks in our circle, in our community, in our group. I don't want them here. And I hope anyone that had a problem with that, I hope they unfollowed us and I hope they leave. And with that said, let's look. I had some people send me some deer today. I'm not going to get off here until we show them. So,
hey, real quick, Kayla and Tim joined our camp, and Kayla's still looking for her first deer and hoping she gets it before Tim does. So
I hope she does too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, I just saw that pop up. Just wanted to wish them well. And thanks for joining us at camp.
Kayla and Tim, I don't think either of them have ever killed a deer, an archery deer. Tim's killed with a gun. And I don't think they've ever killed on public land.
Yeah.
Gary came up from Tennessee, never been to Peabody in his life.
Yeah.
We had
It's great
other
to see
folks that had
Tim.
never been there, first time. So
It's great to see Tim Callahan and
let's look here. Tim Callahan and Brandon. I actually not been there either. So let's start off with some deer that we've killed here. Because, I want to show people that we're always going to keep it real. And, we're just like you guys, and we're not experts. And, we kill small does or we kill small bucks. So, Josh, there's Josh. Was that 2 years ago, Josh, in Harlan?
No, that was at Peabody last year. 6-pointer I killed.
Same place where you killed the doe.
Exact same spot.
So, Josh has found him a spot at Peabody that produces, and I mean, it's just like it's not an easy spot it's a steep cliff to get to it, but I mean, it's just right there.
I literally
think
that the way I found the spot was I was gun hunting my first year at Peabody. I was taking a lunch break and going to the dollar store to take a dump, and a doe ran across the road into the woods, and I followed it down there. I didn't kill it, but I found it is so beautiful down there. So beautiful.
Yeah, it is. All right. I hunted there last year, didn't see a deer, but I saw the largest coyote I have ever seen.
And me and John Allen found it. There's a big buck down in there this year. Big one.
Go get him. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Oh, there's mine. 5-pointer, no brow tines.
Stud.
Proud of it. Look at him. Joshua, look at that. Small.
That's a Harlan County buck, little 8-pointer. Really a 7-pointer, but I call that point an 8-pointer.
As easy as that Peabody hunting spot is to access, that in Harlan is not easy to access.
No, that was you want to talk about the most miserable drag by yourself straight up and down a mountain. That was miserable. So that was a very memorable hunt, and I talked to him beforehand. He that deer, I think he identified as a 10-pointer, so he's a 10-pointer.
Mike is. I told Mike send me pictures of the last deer you killed, and that is a rough looking doe. I mean,
she fell in a creek after I shot.
Well, she found something. She looks rough, but she's a big doe, so there's Mike. Now Mike's sending me his trophies here. All right.
So that one, that is actually the last buck that I've harvested. That was in 2021.
Oh yeah, you've went buckless for 2 years.
Yeah, that was the very last buck that I took. That was back in 2021.
Let's see. Here's the picture I just got from Kyle Sams doing his part.
Yeah,
to take out the does. Best management practices. Kyle's got a nice little bow there too.
Yeah, that's a nice deer too.
It is. I'm trying to. Let's see here. We got more now. We do have some folks. That's how it is where I live. I don't know what happened there. WO says I may be there with fish next year, but I'll also be there with my bow so I can hunt with you guys. Bring it on, WO. Yes. We love it, brother. We love it. I would like to get to 30 people next year. I would like to eventually get to where the entire campground is just us. 100 people there.
That campground's huge.
We'd have to spread out as far as hunting.
Yeah.
But, it'd be great. Imagine if we had 100 yearlings in one fight.
Wow. we need to start fishing in the spring and getting all the fish together for the fish fry in October.
There you go. Hey, and you know what? We can talk about another thing with not just the hunting community, the fishing community. WO fried up a lot of largemouth bass.
It was good.
And there's people that are like, yeah, you don't eat bass. Well, we did, and it was awesome.
Yep.
All right, David Craig. Is David Craig watching? David, if you're watching, let me know. David had last week, he had pictures of an Ohio buck. And you know what, Mike? It's not. The rack looks much different now. It must have just been that photo last week. You hear my phone going off. Other folks are like, I want my deer on there.
My trail camera's going off right now. Ooh,
that's a pretty dandy right there.
Yeah, buddy.
That is a dandy.
To quickly answer Kyle's question, how many deer do we plan on harvesting this year? I'm hoping to get 4 myself, Kyle. That's my goal. That'll definitely. I'm actually out of deer steak, so I definitely need to fill up on that.
I would like to kill 4 more.
Yeah.
I got 2 opening day. I missed one this weekend. Didn't talk about that. Missed one this weekend. I'm stupid. Stupid mistake. And then I've got 2 tags at Fort Knox I would like to fill. And then I've got 2 more doe tags I'd like to fill. So I like to get 4. That would be 6 total. If I got 6 deer this year, guys, you're not going to shut me up before next year.
Yeah.
That's the most.
You're not going to shut me up.
That's the most I've ever gotten into season 6. That's the most I've ever gotten in my whole life.
This year because I'd like to get 1 more doe. Well, a doe because it was a button buck.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a doe to put in the freezer, another buck off of Campbell to put in the freezer, and then I would like to kill a buck on my farm and donate it to the what is it called, the
Kentucky Hunters for the Hungry.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Hey, if you want to do that, Josh, during gun season, I'll come down there and we'll take 4 or 5 does off your farm because you could use it.
As long as I've killed my buck by then.
Bub says, I got to delete a few from the hunting Eastern Kentucky game just by checking their reaction on another group to y'all's camp. Hey, listen, I say we get rid of these guys. If they are going to be like, if they're going to tear down the other hunters, get rid of them. Boot them.
Exile them.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have more pictures? Somebody else sent me pictures. Let's see here. Oh, man, I meant to ask Kyle. Let's pull that one from here's a little video. Sometimes videos don't work.
I like WO's comment. He said maybe if we get enough to come to the deer camp, he will have to rename the place Hog Valley Deer Rally.
I like it.
Yeah, those bike rallies out there get pretty rowdy, though.
I'd say we were pretty tame.
This is the same place where that big deer was last picture. Look at those bucks back there.
That's cool.
Nope,
that's a pretty video.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at those bucks back there sparring. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Love it.
That's a lot of fun. Thanks for sharing, David. We hope you get that big one. We really do.
Oh, yeah.
And, hey, David, if you get a small one, guess what? We're cool with that too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh usually kills a small one every year.
But more than John.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, Christian's got some more coming in. Now, I felt like Christian, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you have like 3 giants in 3 locations, or is that someone else? And here's the deal. We're talking about defending, killing these 3 little deer. We like big deer. We do.
I'm hunting a big one right now. Tomorrow morning, I'll be in the woods.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. It's got a little bit point there. Looks like 2 there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
he's a younger deer. So
here's the thing, too. That's what I was about to say is like, it's got a good rack. And to be honest with you, I'd be tempted to shoot that deer. But honestly, in another year, it's a young deer. In another year, that thing's going to be big.
Josh has one on his farm that's big, and I think if he lets it grow one more year, because it's got like 2 little bitty flyers, and I think next year, Josh, it could. Is that the same 13 point? The ones with 2 flyers?
Yeah, I'm not letting him walk.
Yeah. Though. Okay, but I think one more year could be like.
It could. I just don't know where he'll go, and if the neighbors will shoot him. And he's such a nice buck. I want to put him on my wall.
Yeah. So anyway. Someone sent me one and said for age that deer tonight, and I can't find it. If you sent me one and I've not found it, maybe send it again. Oh, I think it was Bub. Here it is. It's Bub.
Young deer, Mike.
Yeah,
Bub's got one here.
What is he? A 3-pointer?
I think it's a 4.
4?
There's a 4-pointer at my camera right now.
There you go. All right, we'll end the night with this one. 10:05. People are starting to leave, but look at this one from Bub.
Oh, nice deer.
That was just 2 nights ago. Look at that one.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 10-pointer. Looks like.
Yeah, that's a nice buck.
That's a good one.
Hey, youth weekend this weekend.
Youth weekend. Who's going? I won't be taking my daughter this weekend because I don't have a crossbow. So, and we don't have a rifle for her. So I should have used my $25 gift card that Uncle Lee's gave us and bought her a rifle. Not for $25, of course, but
put toward it, right?
Yeah, that could have gone toward it.
Josh
You guys
Teeter said his
remember
daughter was going.
Huh?
I was going to say Josh Teeter said he was going to take his daughter out. So good luck to her.
Yeah, man. Go
Nice.
get 'em.
Drew Miller said, "Do you guys remember snow on Youth Weekend back in the day?"
Yeah.
I don't. I can tell you this: I know Youth Weekend or Youth Turkey Weekend 2 years ago when me and Mike went with our kids.
That was
Oh
cold.
boy, it was like 27 degrees.
Mhm.
God, it was miserable.
Yeah, that was
I'm
cold.
surprised our kids they fought through it.
That
Yeah,
deer,
we got
you said
through about
earlier,
9:30, 10 o'clock.
What'd you say, Joshua?
you said that deer that I killed last year at Peabody, that's like a cliff. It's straight up and down.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like 3 inches of snow on the ground when me and Jacob Nance dragged that thing up that hill. Miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable.
All right, let's look at one more. This is from WO, and I want to see what you guys think this deer would measure. You can't see the full thing, but you can see enough. It's a good one.
Ooh.
300 inches.
Seriously?
165.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
165 and a 1/4.
Actually, it would be 2/8.
2/8. There you go.
Man, those brow tines are extremely long.
Aren't they crazy? He showed me a picture of this one at camp, and those brown tines are like
Jordan Friend said it. Enough.
Enough.
Yeah, I think that deer would be upper 160s into 170s if I had to guess. That's also a very wide deer. Just I can't tell how wide, but that's at least it's more than 18 inches wide. It looks like, and the main beams are long. They come way around. All the tines are pretty tall. That'll score good for sure. Yeah. But that's a nice buck, man. That's a really nice one.
Yeah, PK said pictures don't do it justice. I'm guessing
that's
true.
Yeah, they probably
I think
don't.
This is the one that WO told me his neighbor had on camera.
Oh, yep.
And thought it had died.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came on WO's camera.
Yeah, he was telling me about that.
He said WO said he sent him a picture of it on camera, and his neighbor was glad and said the next picture he sends is going to be him with it on the ground. So
I love it.
Heartland Hunter says 180s.
It could be there. It's hard to tell because you can't see the other angle, like the facing you angle. But that's a nice buck, man.
Keith said it has milk on his lips.
Man, those brow tines, those are insane. That'd be a deer that I would I don't care what he scores. That would just be a very cool deer to end up getting just because of those brow tines. Man, those brow tines are huge.
Yeah, that makes a great mount. So, well, listen, fellas, it's 10:09. We've talked enough. Man, we love you guys. We love the folks that are on here every Tuesday, and we appreciate you, and we're glad you're coming back. And if you got friends to share it with, we'll take that too. And thank you to all of you that came to deer camp that helped. Big shout out to Uncle Lee's. Uncle Lee's gave us a ton of stuff to give away. Onx gave us free memberships. Antler Builder, we gave away some products. Camo Dust, we gave away an entire box. Gunbroker.com with so much. And for PK and WO and Frankie and Keith that cooked, Dwayne that helped take care of everything, Gary, Caleb, Tim, Kayla, Tim, Brandon. I don't know. I'm going to miss somebody, but I appreciate all of you. Can't wait to do it again.
And we appreciate all you guys that had our back this week.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We love you guys. We love the community.
We love you. You had our back. I promise it doesn't go unnoticed, and we'll have your back as well.
There you go. All right, fellas. We appreciate you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you guys.
Y'all have a good one. Good luck out in the woods, and good luck to the youth hunters.
Absolutely. See you.